Hello guys, welcome to Supreme Steno classes. Guys, be ready for dictations. Prepared for different types of अपकमिंग स्किल एग्जामिनेशन एज पर APSSB का होने वाला है। बिहार सिविल कोड का भी बहुत जल्द ही हो जाएगा। और इसके अलावा और भी जो होने वाले हैं, दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट PA भी होने वाला है, पटना हाई कोर्ट PA होने वाला है, तो सभी के लिए है। ठीक है, बी रेडी गाइस, 5 सेकेंड। The process of converting iron ore into steel involves many stages. The raw material is put in the blast furnace where it undergoes smelting. It is then refined. The output obtained is steel, which may be used by other industries as raw material. Steel is tough and it can easily be shaped, cut or made into wire. A special alloys of steel can be made by adding a small amounts of other metals such as aluminum, nickel and copper. Alloys steel unusual hardness, toughness or ability to resist rust. Steel is often called the backbone of modern industry. Almost everything we use is either made of iron or steel or has been made with tools and machinery of these metals. Ships, trains, trucks and autos are made largely of steel. Even the safety pins and needles you use are made from steel. Oil wells are drilled with steel machinery. Steel pipelines transport oil. Minerals are mined with steel equipment. Farm machines are mostly steel. Large buildings have a steel framework. Before 1800 AD, iron and steel industry was located where raw materials, power supply and running water were easily available. Later, the ideal location for the industry was near coal fields and close to canals and railways. After 1950, iron and steel industry began to be located on large areas of flat land near seaports. This is because by this time steelworks had become very large and iron ore had to be imported from overseas. The development of the iron and steel industry opened the doors of rapid industrial development in India. Almost all sectors of the Indian industry depend heavily on the iron and steel industry for their basic infrastructure. This transformation from a plant to a finished product involves three types of economic activities. These are primary, secondary and tertiary activities. Primary activities include all those connected with extractions and production of natural resources. Agriculture, fishing and gathering are good examples. Secondary activities are concerned with the processing of these resources. Manufacturing of steel, baking of bread and weaving of cloth are examples of this activity. Tertiary activities provide support to primary and secondary sectors through services. Transport, trade, banking, insurance and advertising are examples of tertiary activities. Agriculture is a primary activity. It includes growing crops, fruits, vegetables, flowers and rearing of livestock. In the world, 50% of persons are engaged in agricultural activity. 2/3 of India's population is still dependent on agriculture. Favorable topography of soil and climate are vital for agriculture activity. The land on which the crops are grown is known as arable land. You can see that agricultural activity is concentrated in those regions of the world where suitable factors for the growing of crops exist. Agriculture of farming can be looked at as a system. The important inputs are seeds, fertilizers, machinery, and labor. Some of the operations involved are plugging, sowing, irrigation, weeding, and harvesting. The outputs from the system include crops, wool, dairy, and poultry products. Farming is practiced in various ways across the world. Depending upon the geographical conditions, demand of produce, labor, and level of technology, farming can be classified into two main types. These are subsistence farming and commercial farming. This type of farming is practiced to meet the needs of the farmer's family. Traditionally, low levels of technology and household labor are used to produce on a small output. Subsistence farming can be further classified as intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. In intensive subsistence agriculture, the farmer cultivates a small plot of land using simple tools and more labor. Climate with large number of days with sunshine and fertile soil permit growing of more than one crop annually on the same plot. Rice is the main crop. Other crops include wheat, maize, pulses, and oilseeds. Intensive subsistence agriculture is prevalent in the thickly populated areas of the monsoon regions of South, Southeast, and East Asia. Primitive subsistence agriculture includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Shifting cultivation is practiced in the thickly forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia, and Northeast Asia. These are the areas of heavy rainfall and quick regeneration of vegetation. A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. The ashes are then mixed with the soil and crops like maize, yam, potatoes, and cassava are grown. After the soil loses its fertility, the land is abandoned and the cultivator moves to a new plot. Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Nomadic herding is practiced in the semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia, and some parts of India like Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. Stop. सो गाइज ये डिक्टेशन था. होप सो कि आप लोग अच्छे से लिखेंगे, आपकी तैयारी अच्छी चल रही होगी. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट डिक्टेशन और नेक्स्ट वीडियो के साथ. तब तक के लिए धन्यवाद.